And yes, let's start with the elephant in the room. And of course, I did call them faltering. Manchester United, they are much maligned. Everybody's talking about them. And for obvious reasons, that game against Newcastle United was an eyesore for Old Trafford faithful. Although it was at St. James's Park, they'll return to Old Trafford this week to take on Chelsea, who, for banter, for people who are punters, Manchester United and Chelsea are most likely not different teams. They share the same characteristics. They're inconsistent. But what can we expect from this game? Manchester United away at Newcastle, that was a terrible game. But for Chelsea, they found a way to win against Brighton at home. And when it comes to big games, no doubt, Chelsea always perform. But this is one that has always evaded them in recent matches. Manchester United won the last meeting against both sides. 4-1 it ended at Old Trafford just before the conclusion of the season. That's the 2022-2023 season, and the season before this one. And now, before that, there were just a couple of draws, 0-0 draws, 1-1 draws, not much to separate these sides when it comes to head-to-heads. But again, Manchester United, pretty much inconsistent. Who will win this game? It's up in the air. Anybody can win this one. It can sway the side of Chelsea, can sway the side of Manchester United as well. It depends on which teams, which players, what motivation, what character these players bring to the fore on Wednesday night. And for me, I just think that Chelsea have an interest in this one more than Manchester United. What's lacking is the fight, the hunger, the passion from Manchester United players. You saw the footage of Marcus Rashford strolling around Newcastle United's pitch when he could have been tracking back at Timo Livramento. It's that kind of hunger, that kind of passion that wins you games when big guns come around or when you travel to face big guns. And it's lacking at Man United at this point in time. I wouldn't say Man United cannot win, but I'm saying the most likely eventuality is that Chelsea pick up all 3 points. They've not done that in quite a while. Old Trafford has been a tough ground for them to play on. I still wouldn't be surprised if Man United found a way to win this one. But they've not won against a big team this season. That's no surprise. And this is one that, they're facing an opponent who are always charged up. Let's flashback. Chelsea against Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea won that one. Chelsea against Manchester City before the November international break. And that was perhaps the most sensational game of the season. For me, that was the best game of the season. They came to the party. This one is another blockbuster game, all right? It's one to look forward to. Look at Chelsea against Brighton. They found a way to win. You could talk about Reece James, and you could also talk about Conor Gallagher, 2 captains out of the 3 captains in Chelsea conceding red cards that, gave them their marching orders. But Chelsea, they just seem to have that fight, and that's basic in professional football. The fight, the hunger, the passion. You can have loads of talent, but if you do not bring the fight, the hunger, the passion, the character into big games like this, you'll be caught flat-footed. And I do think that Manchester United, they might not have this one. Even against Galatasaray, you could see the same thing. They lack the fight, albeit Andre Onana was at the heart of everything wrong for Man United in that one. Who knows? For me, Andre Onana, my opinion about Andre Onana is anytime it gets to big games, Onana, the moment consumes him. This is the same Onana we saw at the UEFA Champions League final against Manchester City last season. But it just seems when it gets to the big stage, it loses concentration, and that becomes of his undoing. But let's see how this one pans out. I do think Chelsea will win this. It'll be decided on Wednesday night. It's just my opinion anyway. Let's move on. It's Manchester City, who have not won in 3 games. Yeah. Since the return of the international break, or even before that. Chelsea, 4-4, Liverpool, 1-1, and then against Tottenham Hotspur, you'd have expected they claimed a victory in that one. It ended 3-3. Well, you can make a case for City being a very vulnerable team anytime that Tottenham Hotspur come around Etihad Stadium, but I still expected that City will have too much for them. But you see, something about City this season that I've realized is the fact that they lack killer instinct. They lack the ability or the player, so to speak, to kill games. Understandably so, Kevin De Bruyne is out of action until next year. They've lost Riyad Mahrez, they've lost Ilkay Gundogan. These were game changers that I think City are lacking at the moment. Do they have those kind of players now? Jeremy Doku, fantastic lad, fantastic young star, bright, explosive, but he can't do more than he can right now for City. The same thing for Jack Grealish. Decent player, but maybe not a game changer. Phil Foden is that one player that I think can win games for them. Yeah, let's see what he can do against Aston Villa, because Aston Villa this season are a different proposition. They've been a fantastic team under Unai Emery. Oli Watkins is in good form, and quite crucial to mention, City will be without Rodri. You remember what happened when City were without Rodri the last time out? They couldn't win games. This one looks like another that City might drop points, maybe not lose, because I feel they still have the quality. I mean, you have Erling Haaland, you have Phil Foden, you have Julian Alvarez. These are players that will stake an interest in this game. But away from home, without Rodri, it'll be a tough one. I'll be surprised to see City win this one. But, well, maybe it will just be their quality at the end of the day. Aston Villa, by the way, they drew away against Bournemouth. 2-2 it ended. But Oli Watkins, for me, has been fantastic. He's been that key player. And maybe he can be the difference for Aston Villa. I was watching with a friend over the weekend, and we're comparing Oli Watkins and Gabriel Jesus. And I did say Oli Watkins is a better player than Gabriel Jesus. In my opinion, a better striker. I know this will make the rounds, but this is, for me, my opinion. Oli Watkins checked since 2020 when he started Premier League football. He's got 48 goals, make it 48. He got one against Bournemouth yesterday on Sunday, and now that makes it 48 goals since 2020. You should want to check what the stats are for Gabriel Jesus, despite playing for Manchester City, and Oli Watkins playing for Aston Villa. But that is just that about that. Let's leave England. Let's go to Italy. It is Juventus. Juventus are hosting Scudetto holders. I like to call them faltering Scudetto holders at this point. Napoli. Just on Sunday, they considered a big defeat at home at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. It was 3-0. It ended. Inter, best team in the country, no doubt, no argument. I think they absolutely roasted Napoli in the second half. And now they are facing, Napoli are facing Juventus, who have been under the radar, because let's talk about them now. They're unbeaten in 9 games, Juventus, 7 wins and 2 draws. And then Federico Chiesa has been fantastic since he returned from injury. He's got 4 goals, and Dusan Vlahovic, though he missed a penalty in the game against Monza, but he's been a fantastic player as well this season for them. 5 goals in the league. And you look at this fixture as well. Napoli seem to dominate this one when it comes to head-to-head standings. Napoli have not lost 4 in their. They've not lost in 4 matches. It's 3 wins and a draw. The last time Juve won in this particular fixture, it ended 2-1, and that was back in April of 2021. But this season is a different context, and guess why? Napoli were Scudetto. They are Scudetto holders. They won the Scudetto last season, but this season has been a different pattern. Things have gone in a downward spiral since when Luciano Spalletti had to leave, and then Rudi Garcia came on in. Things, in fact, the controversy with Victor Osimhen also, these are things that has not done their season a world of good. And then now there's a new man, not particularly new, Walter Mazzarri. He's been there before. Walter Mazzarri is his second stint. Now he's played 3 games. Atalanta, first game, first win. And then 2 back-to-back losses against Real Madrid, and then now against Inter Milan. It's going to be tough for even the Napoli players. They may be champions, but it's not easy adapting to 2 different managers in one season. And these are managers that, to be frank, to be fair, these players are not particularly used to. It's not Spalletti from last season. Rudi Garcia just came on in, and then he's sacked, and then there's Walter Mazzarri. Mazzarri is a known face in Napoli. He was there even as far back as when Edison Cavani was still balling in Napoli. But, you know, it's not easy. Even for Victor Osimhen, our own Victor Osimhen, I do wish him well. Played against Inter, but couldn't get on the score sheet. Would he get on the score sheet in this one? I think he's nearing full fitness now, and we need that. I think that's the most important thing when I discuss Victor Osimhen, is for him to be fit for the African Cup of Nations come January 13th. That's the most important thing. You don't want Victor Osimhen to be missing that big tournament. If he can get a goal under his belt, fine. But if he cannot, let him build fitness And let's see what Napoli, it's fair to say Napoli will not defend their Scudetto title. It's very fair to say that. I mean, 11 points off Inter at the top. I do not think they will defend the title right there in Italy. But, well, these are the games we have for you in midweek. Fantastic round of games to look forward to. My predictions, if you want score predictions, it's Manchester United against Chelsea. It'll be tough for Chelsea. You know, just reflecting on my analysis, it'll be tough for Chelsea to get a result in this one. Perhaps I'll go for a draw, a score draw, maybe 2-2. Man United score goals, but they are weak in transition. They do not know how to defend their lead. Maybe Man United will get into the lead, and then Chelsea will get a draw. Whatever the scoreline may be, maybe 1-1, maybe 2-2. Anyways, the fixture in recent times have been dominated by draws. So why should this be different? Anyways, City against Villa, another tough game to predict, because for me, anytime it's City, I tend to favor City a lot, because they've shown time and again over the years that they have the character, the winning spirit, the winning mentality to get something out of games. They may not play their best, but they always come to the party. And they have a certain Erling Haaland, who didn't score against Tottenham Hotspur. This is perhaps the most difficult game to give a predictions to, but let's just leave it at that. I think that it'll be a tough game, lots of goals. Aston Villa are doing well themselves, but score predictions, leave me out of that. For Juventus against Napoli, it's one I could particularly. Juventus don't score a lot. They don't. You could check it. They don't score a lot. But Napoli are not doing so well themselves. Maybe both teams will score, but I expect Juventus to continue their fine form. Mind you, if they win that game on Friday night, they can go top of Serie A, at least temporarily, until when Inter face Udinese a day later. And that could be motivation for Juventus, because you never know what happens in the game between Inter and Udinese. So if there's a chance to go top, albeit temporarily, then Juventus would most definitely want to make use of that opportunity. But that is our show. Thank you very, very much for watching this episode of the Nutmeg. You can join the community right here on Guardian TV by hitting that subscribe button. Hit it, and then also hit the notification bells to get our latest content as well. Again, many, many, many thanks for watching. You want to know what our next episode is going to be all about right here on the Nutmeg, and I bid you to watch when we go live next time. Again, I'll see you in the next episode. My name is Ayomide Sotubo. God bless you.